Don People's Deadbolt. Let's talk about it. So let's get into, man, what Mayor Eric Adams of New York City is calling for. He's basically asking all social media platforms to ban drill rap videos as he takes his stand against the drill music and the culture that obviously drill music has put over our community and obviously hip hop. Um, I personally think, this is long overdue. And this is why the rappers are now coming out because they obviously now see that it might be an effect to their bottom line. But what Mayor Eric Adams is doing is obviously, man, it's a slippery slope because taking a stand against drill music opens the door to take a stand against popular hip hop in general. Now, the mayor had to sit down with Mano, Fabio Foreign, B. Lovey, and a couple of other, and a lot of other, I should say, drill rappers and people who support the drill scene. And basically, what these dudes is going with is they saying drill music has no effect on what the current situation and the temperature is out in these streets of New York and across America. When kids is obviously dying every day, and a lot of this is related to them putting dead people in their lyrics. You diss a dead op, you put them in your song, dudes is coming for you. So now the mayor seeing what's going on, obviously the crime is going through the roof. He says, look, we're about to start a campaign. We're about to ban drill music. And instead of rappers coming out saying like, look, we might have took it a little too far, being responsible, they want to hold a meeting to try to save it in hopes that the mayor would back off his efforts into banning the drill culture. Now, obviously, when he comes in office, the crime is through the roof, and nobody can, seem to point the finger and see what's going on. What's fueling this culture. And when you look and you see, okay, you got drill music and you got the drill culture that's out here influencing a lot of these kids, right? And that's what's paying. You think about it, none of these kids trying to be hustlers and dope boys no more. They want to be drill rappers because even though a lot of them ain't got major deals, the internet, the streams, all that is cutting their checks. So indirectly or directly, the music industry has blood on its hands. So you got certain rappers that are trying to come out and stop the mayor from doing this and going through with trying to put a ban on the drill rap when obviously this can affect our First Amendment because we can't say what we want to say. I don't really think it has nothing to do with the drill rap. It's just dissing the dead in your raps. And when you talk about drill rap, obviously you can't talk about it without bringing up the Godfather, one of the forefathers of drill rap, but really the godfather of mainstream drill rap would be Chief Keef. So this problem has been going on since 2012, and it's went unchecked, and it's now turned into a situation where it's snowballing out of control, where bodies is dropping everywhere. So it went from Chicago, then it went over to the UK, and now the hot spot for it is New York. And the mayor's not going for it. He's not doing what Chicago would do, which would be, let the violence continue because obviously bodies is dropping. We getting paid all different sectors, the prison systems, the morgues, it's like a 2-for-1 special going on. So they not really jumping in like they should, but the New York mayor, they snatching these dudes up. So he wants to obviously be able to use drill lyrics in court cases. He wants to obviously take the lyrics out of the rap and not even, give it no shine. There's DJs that are also saying like, yo, we not supporting this music no more. So I really do think that drill music has met its course. It's ran its course. Like it's gotten to the point where a lot of bodies have dropped all over. And with this being the new popular genre of hip hop, a lot of people are now taking notice because, these dudes are just disrespectful. It's like the music, especially the drill, it's just to see how disrespectful you can be. Somebody dies, you go kick over their candles or you go do something that is disrespectful. What about the family that's been disrespected or the victim family? Like, what are they supposed to do? Not retaliate? So when I look at people like Mano and other rappers coming out, they're not the ones that have, blood in the street and people are not talking about their loved ones. So how can you really say what can be accepted and what can't be accepted? I think this form of music, being somebody who likes gangster rap and also supports freedom of speech, it has to be a point where we start looking at the music because the music has been the soundtrack to our lives since, I've been born. Music has influenced everything from fashion to the way we talk, what we believe in, what we don't believe in a sense. Um, what women have accepted has been through the music. So the music has really just took all like the social fabric away from society. Things that used to be good are not good. And the way we used to treat people, we just don't do it no more. And it comes from, what's displayed in the music. Because this is what these kids look at when they're looking at their phones, their tablets, the TV, listening on the radio, watching videos. Like, this is what they see. And this is what they also see getting paid. So when you have a kid that's stuck in poverty, who doesn't have a chance at a top flight education, who when they go to a public school, it's infested with gangs to where they don't have a choice but to get down. I think they look at drill rap as a way out and to feed their family. And if you're going to be a drill rapper, drill rap consists of you dissing the dead and drilling on your ops. So this is what drill rap consists of. So that's what you got to go into because this is what they're promoting. Even though labels are not really signing drill rappers, so to speak, but the streams and the internet are giving these dudes shine. And they're getting shows and they're making money off of their songs. So therefore, the machine is backing them. So I don't know what Eric Adams, agenda could be. It could be to attack this, and ultimately this will ban free speech because you'll go from drill rap, then you'll move to gangster rap, then you'll move to just, materialistic rap. It'll be no form of rap that'll be accepted because every form of rap offends somebody in some type of way. So eventually they'll be able to censor it out to where it's nothing but happy go lucky songs. It won't be any true content being made anymore. And so it's really like a gift and a curse. It's something that needs to be cleaned up for the sake of our children. Because if we don't clean it up, it's really not about this generation. They're lost. It's really about the unborn children that have not came yet. The kids that have not had a chance to breathe air yet. To get all this stuff cleaned up before they hit the planet. Because the ones that have already been drilling, the ones that have already been caught up in this culture and love this music, this lifestyle, they got bodies under their belt. Then ain't no, they're demons. There's no turning back from that. There's no coming back from the abyss. So they're not going to reform because you take it off the street. So this is really just for the shorties, man, that are either too young to know what's going on or haven't been born yet. So we can give them a chance to have a new utopia, man, where we're all together. And everything's just on a positive frequency, man. We've been riding this negative train for a long time. And I just think right now, man, it's time to get off the train. I think we as older individuals need to apologize to the shorties because we were the gateways to this. Listening to certain type of music in the household and the shorties coming up, and now the music has just expanded to what you got now. So it ain't their fault that we open the doors for them to be baptized in fire, and it's the same thing. But eventually, we got to stop the cycle. And I know it's cliche, and the way they got the game set up is so brilliant because it's like once you get old enough to really understand the mistakes you made and the flaws, then you're considered an old nigga. Nobody want to hear what you got to say. Oh, you hating. Or, all these different derogatory terms instead of it being what it is that, yo, I grew up in this. I see where I made a mistake. Let me go back and shave the shorties like on some South Central OG Bobby Johnson type stuff. You know what I mean? And when you come back like that, people don't respect it for the most part because they think that you trying to, you coming from like a political or you hating or just all type of crazy stuff. So that's why it's really hard for us to save the shorties. So the only thing we can do, man, is just wipe it out totally, man, and give the ones that haven't hit the earth yet, an opportunity, man, to see and make their own choices. I think right now we're drilling ourselves out of existence. We're not going to have any good soldiers to fight the fight because they're either going to be in jail or in the grave. We got to refocus ourselves as melanated men because right now, even though we're getting the clout, we're getting the money, we're still looking like monkeys in a zoo. So, in a sense, we don't know what Eric Adams' true agenda is. It can be, yo, I really just want to clean up the streets for the shorties because of what I said and everything we covered. Or it can really be just an attack on the First Amendment and this is just the first step, just to wipe everything out to where you won't have any freedom to talk any negative comments about anything any longer. But I want y'all to get in the comment box, man, and let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all feel what Eric Adams is on as far as trying to ban drill music? And do you think drill music should be banned? And is it responsible for how these shorties is acting up out here in these streets? Or do you feel like there's another agenda behind this and drill music is just the scapegoat for it? But I want y'all to get in the comment box, man, and let me know what y'all think. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification tab so y'all can tap in every time I drop a video. It's your boy Don Peoples. Deadbolt. Go.